At 4 a.m., while the country slept and the highways appeared harmless, an extraordinary operation unfolded inside a federal command center, screens filled with movement as hundreds of signals advanced across nearly every state at the same moment. To the outside world, these were ordinary refrigerated trucks, familiar, inspected, and woven into daily life without a second glance. For years, they delivered food, built spotless reputations, and earned unquestioned trust. No warnings were raised, no alarms sounded, until a single order changed everything. The response was immediate and nationwide. Trailers were stopped, seals were broken, and investigators moved past the produce for the first time. On Interstate 10, agents opened a trailer and saw the same crates of lettuce and tomatoes that inspectors had seen for over a decade. Then, they tore into the floor. Beneath the refrigeration unit, hydraulic tools exposed a precision-built void, a hidden compartment engineered to deceive oversight for years. This was not a routine drug seizure. It was the exposure of an invisible network operating in plain sight. As this unfolds, consider how close it came to everyday life. If that thought unsettles you, stay with us, share your perspective in the comments, and subscribe, because what comes next goes even deeper.
Cocaine and meth is on the rise in our area. We first report on the increase this summer, and this bust here is proof. The cartels are getting creative in how they're smuggling the drug into New York City.
The cartels had evolved, using vacuum-sealed, color-coded bundles disguised as insulation to move drugs into New York City. What appeared ordinary concealed 52 tons of pure crystal methamphetamine. This was no longer street-level trafficking, but industrial warfare. The Sinaloa cartel had not infiltrated logistics, it had built its own trucking empire. Southwest Logistics Front exposed. What you are witnessing is the systematic dismantling of Southwest Logistics, a company that spent 15 years presenting itself as a model American business. From its glass-walled headquarters in Texas to its conference rooms and corporate branding, everything projected legitimacy. With 500 drivers and nearly $300 million in annual revenue, it appeared untouchable. The investigation revealed a far darker truth. The company was founded, owned, and controlled by the Sinaloa cartel, operated not by street traffickers, but by executives in tailored suits. The operation relied on a split fleet designed to preserve trust. Out of 250 trucks, 150 hauled real produce, generated clean revenue, and maintained flawless safety ratings. The remaining 100 were designated priority units. These vehicles were modified inside a restricted garage, accessible only to vetted mechanics. Each trailer was fitted with a $50,000 hydraulic trap, capable of concealing 200 kilograms of narcotics per trip. For 2 years, more than 52 tons of poison moved across American highways beneath food bound for grocery stores. The most disturbing element was not the engineering, but the drivers. Many had no idea what they were transporting. They were unwitting participants, used as disposable camouflage by a cartel that never intended to protect them. The K9 and density scanner discovery. The collapse began with a single traffic stop in April 2025 on Interstate 10 outside San Antonio. The driver was calm, his logs flawless, his manifest listing tomatoes bound for the Midwest. Everything appeared routine. Then a K9 alerted near the rear axle. Inspectors searched and found nothing. Only when a density scanner detected abnormal flooring did the truth emerge. Beneath the trailer floor, concealed within a precision-engineered void, lay 100 kilograms of methamphetamine.
Ranch. Yeah, 1.7 million pills, meth, and more taken off the streets.
Fox 31's Nicole Fierro got an up-close look and is joining us live with the wild backstory behind this discovery as well. Nicole?
The driver was arrested immediately and questioned for hours, yet something felt wrong almost from the start. Behind the glass, DEA agents watched his hands shake and his voice crack, not with guilt, but with fear. He was not performing. He was genuinely terrified. It became clear that he did not know what he had been hauling. He was not a trafficker, but a pawn. That realization changed everything. If the drivers were unaware, then the concealment could not be improvised or individual. It had to be structural. Special Agent Marco Rodriguez of the DEA Strategic Intelligence Division understood the implication instantly. These trucks were not hiding drugs. They were being built around them. He ordered a full forensic dive into Southwest Logistics. On paper, the company appeared ordinary, a mid-sized carrier earning roughly $30 million a year. Operating costs consumed nearly all of it, leaving modest profits. But the bank records told a different story. Over 2 years, $300 million had flowed through company accounts. The numbers were impossible to reconcile. The money traced through shell corporations and offshore pathways, all leading back to Sinaloa leadership. The cartel was quietly subsidizing the legitimate side of the business, using clean operations as camouflage to keep the fleet moving. To prove it, investigators needed access from the inside. GPS surveillance was initiated on all 250 vehicles. Patterns quickly emerged. 150 trucks ran predictable routes. The remaining 100 repeatedly stopped at a separate maintenance building. An undercover agent applied as a mechanic and spent 3 months inside. What he found was not a garage, but a fabrication facility. Blueprints, hydraulic systems, and false floors were welded directly into trailer frames. Each trap cost $50,000 and defeated X-ray scans. He also uncovered a 2-tier driver system. Most drivers were innocent. The priority drivers were paid $10,000 per trip and coordinated through encrypted channels. With the evidence complete, prosecutors moved deliberately. Sealed RICO indictments were prepared for 273 individuals, not to interrupt a shipment or seize a handful of vehicles, but to erase the company itself. This was never about stopping one truck on one highway. The objective was total destruction of the enterprise. Before continuing, pause for a moment and consider this. The executives behind this operation lived in gated communities, collected business awards, and presented themselves as civic leaders, all while moving tons of poison across the country. Should crimes committed in boardrooms carry lighter consequences than those committed on street corners? Or should power and polish demand harsher judgment? Your answer matters, and it belongs in the comments. The priority unit, hydraulic traps. At dawn on October 20th, 2025, as enforcement teams seized trucks nationwide, a second operation unfolded in Texas. FBI SWAT agents breached the glass-fronted headquarters of Southwest Logistics, a building designed to resemble a modern tech firm rather than a criminal hub. At exactly 0400 hours, the illusion shattered as armed agents flooded the executive floors. Inside, the CEO sat at his desk, desperately attempting to delete files from a secured server. He expected legal counsel. Instead, he found himself staring down a rifle and hearing a final command to step away. Cyber forensics moved faster than encryption, securing the laptop before critical data vanished. As handcuffs closed, the image of legitimacy collapsed in real time. He insisted the company was lawful, citing contracts with major retailers. The response was immediate and final. He was under arrest for laundering cartel money, trafficking narcotics, and running a criminal enterprise. Across the campus, the CFO, operations leadership, and logistics heads were detained simultaneously. Their wealth, status, and connections offered no protection. While they were escorted out, another team closed in on the maintenance depot, the hidden core of the operation. DEA tactical teams breached the priority garage with precision, cutting straight into the operational core of the cartel's logistics machine. Inside, they found no confusion and no denial. Sparks filled the air as welders were caught in the act, actively modifying a trailer frame, installing a hydraulic lift system directly into a refrigerated unit. The order came fast: drop the torches. The mechanics complied without resistance. They did not run, because they understood exactly what they were building. This was not a repair shop. It was a production line for crime. Engines were not being fixed. Felonies were being engineered. The garage quickly became a treasure trove of evidence. Agents uncovered blueprints, fabrication schematics, and invoices for specialized hydraulic pumps. Most damning was a detailed work order list identifying the priority units, 100 trucks systematically altered to carry narcotics beneath legitimate cargo, life sentences for corporate executives. By 6 a.m., the full scope of Operation Highway Harvest came into focus. 273 arrests were made nationwide. 53 priority trucks were seized on active highways, with 47 more secured at the depot. In total, 52 tons of methamphetamine were removed from circulation, representing a street value exceeding $2 billion. It was one of the largest coordinated takedowns in U.S. history. As operations concluded, a painful truth emerged about the workforce. Nearly 500 drivers had been detained during the initial sweep. Licenses were suspended, interviews conducted, and lives placed on hold. As questioning continued, investigators realized that many had no knowledge of the hidden cargo. Roughly 150 drivers were completely innocent, legitimate truckers hired to haul produce. Unaware that millions of dollars in meth lay beneath their feet, they stood on highway shoulders, watching their trucks towed away, careers collapsing in real time. One driver broke down, saying he only delivered lettuce and had a family to support. The Department of Justice responded swiftly, issuing certificates of innocence, restoring licenses, and helping cleared drivers secure new employment. For the priority drivers, there was no such relief. Those who accepted cash bonuses and used encrypted phones faced mandatory minimum sentences of 20 years. The legal consequences of this operation reshaped the boundaries of corporate criminal accountability. With the raids unfolding in late 2024, the courtroom reckoning followed a year later. By December 2025, the trials of Southwest Logistics executive leadership had reached their conclusion. Defense attorneys leaned heavily on plausible deniability, insisting that rogue employees had corrupted an otherwise legitimate company without the knowledge of those at the top. It was a strategy built on distance and denial. $3 billion economic damage to Cartel. That argument collapsed with a single file. Prosecutor Jennifer Martinez introduced what became known as the Shadow Ledger, recovered from the CEO's laptop. The document laid bare the company's true finances. While legitimate trucking operations generated $30 million annually, a hidden division quietly absorbed $25 million in operating costs through drug trafficking revenue. The executives had not merely been aware, they had planned for it. The jury deliberated for less than 4 hours. Guilty on all counts. Sentencing followed weeks later, setting a precedent legal experts described as a corporate death penalty. The judge addressed the men in suits directly, stating that they had weaponized the American supply chain and exploited consumer trust as protection for a cartel. The punishment reflected that betrayal. The CEO, CFO, and COO received life sentences without parole. Southwest Logistics was formally dissolved. Asset forfeiture teams seized everything: 250 trucks, the corporate headquarters, $100 million in accounts, even office furniture. The total damage to the Sinaloa cartel exceeded $3 billion, including drugs, assets, and 15 years of infrastructure. Retailers nationwide responded immediately, overhauling vetting protocols and auditing logistics partners. Operation Highway Harvest proved the war on drugs has changed. It now targets systems, not smugglers. If this story opened your eyes, take a moment to like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and stay vigilant.